Hey there, this is Mason with Spring Hill Health and Wellness. I'm here with Dr. Greg. Some of you reached out on our Facebook and Twitter. We do appreciate you following us on that. And I was asking what your guys' most common weight loss questions were. So I wanted to get Dr. Greg in here with your questions, pick his brain a little bit, and I hope you guys get something out of it, all right?
Sounds good.
Sound good, Doc?
Sounds good.
All right, so one of the big questions that people were asking are like, what are the foods that you need to avoid whenever you're trying to lose weight? Like, is it fat that makes you fat, or?
Yeah, I think the big thing right now for people is carbs. To answer your question, I would put watching your carb intake is probably the biggest factor. The number two being just overall calorie expenditure. Because all we're trying to do when trying to lose weight, just I'm a simple guy, so you're just it's energy expenditure, right? So you got to watch your calories. Your calories can't be too high. You got to be burning more than you're taking in per day. But if you were to drill it down to one of the one thing, it'd be the carbohydrates you'd want to watch.
Okay.
Even more than fats. Like I said, that would be the number one thing to look out for.
Okay, so that leads into carbs are what mostly you avoid on keto and stuff like that. And a lot of people are asking about keto as well, and like what your thoughts on it are.
Yeah, so carbohydrates, when you lower your carbohydrates to a certain amount and you start burning more body fat, you start producing ketones. Emphasis on the keto diet. This diet's been around for many, many years. It's nothing new. I can't believe it's getting so much popularity now. From a bodybuilding background, they were doing this a long time ago. So there are certain diets, the keto diet, and then there's other diets, and intermittent fasting sometimes can as well get you into a ketosis state, essentially where you're burning more body fat than other things. When you're loaded up with carbohydrate, your body has lots of glycogen in its cells. That's its first energy source. So it's going to burn through that before it starts burning body fat, essentially. So that's why you get a little bit. And also too, with a keto diet, you're going to lose big amount of water. Mm-hmm. So think of carbohydrate. Water follows carbohydrates. Water follows sodium too. So in my opinion, still carbs should be watched. I don't think you need to go to a ketosis state though to lose weight. I think that's different. I think you need to watch your carbs. Everybody's different, but I don't think you need to go to a ketosis state.
Okay. Let's see what the next one. So to that point, will just dieting get results, or do I have to exercise?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's all energy expenditure. So, if you some of these intermittent fasting things are like crazy. There's like, I've seen 48-hour fasting. Not only do you not have to work out, you probably shouldn't work out. You probably
Right.
have no energy. So if you work out, sometimes, believe it or not, working out does help hunger. But like I said, if you're not taking in anything, you don't need to work out as much. If you're living off 1,000 calories or 1,500 calories, you don't have to work out. Here's the thing, and let me spin it back around just to my opinion on these. That is also my problem, though, with intermittent fasting and ketosis diet, because a lot of these diets, they work for people that want quick results. They want magic. You lose a lot of water weight, and they destroy your metabolism. So, yeah, you don't have to work out as intensely. You can, but like I said, you lose a lot of weight fast, but because of the limiting factor in both those diets, a lot of times, especially the intermittent fasting, a lot of times, unless you can do that day in and day out forever, you'll lose a lot of body fat, body weight. Oh yeah, body weight, by the way, is different than body fat. You'll lose a lot of muscle too. Mm-hmm. You won't lose all body fat, and you'll be leaner. But once you reintroduce food at a regular rate, you're going to jump up again, because again, you're just crushing your metabolism because you're just not eating. Your body is starving itself, so it's not going to burn as much. So let's say you start all with intermittent fasting, right? and let's say you're burning you're burning 1,000 calories a day. After doing intermittent fasting for a week or two, your body will now only want to burn 500 because it knows what you're doing now. Okay, so you've created a less efficient burning metabolism. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's called out.
Exactly. So that's my biggest thing with intermittent fasting. Besides, it's got good health benefits, but anything you can't stick to, and you're mentally going to break sometime.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you mentioned the intermittent fasting because that was one thing that the people had asked as well. So
Yeah, people have gone nuts on that.
well, I think there's a lot of conflicting information out there about it too.
It's also too. You mentioned earlier, a lot of people think they can eat what they want, and they can.
Right.
Again,
right.
you know, it sounds great. Hey, I don't eat anything, but when I do eat, gosh, I can eat whatever I want.
As long as it's between 2 and 8, I'll have pizza and whiskey for the rest of my life and stay thin.
But try doing that for a week or two, and you're gonna feel horrible.
Right.
And you're just destroying your system. In my opinion, you've got to follow a diet, lifestyle, or regimen of eating, and then you got to have exercise and more anaerobic exercise. This may be another question and answer, but more anaerobic exercise than aerobic.
Okay.
It's all about the metabolism.
Well, and so that sort of leads to the last question. It was one of the most interesting that we saw come up. So you've talked about the basic weight loss. You got to be burning more than you're putting in, right?
Right.
So a lot of times people break that down into just simple calories. It's just a number. It's that simple number that you read on the back of the cereal box, right?
Right.
So is a calorie, or are there differences between it? Are all calories equal?
Yeah, it's a good question. There was a famous fitness nutritionist, and he touted, this was like in the 70s, he touted a calorie was a calorie, but he also said it did not matter what you ate. So I differ that. Yes, a calorie is a calorie, and a calorie, like I said, is just a measurement of energy. It's a measurement of energy expenditure of a certain protein, carb, or fat, or even alcohol. So yes, if you're burning more calories than you take in, the formula is the same. It doesn't change. You don't have different laws. You don't all of a sudden, reverse the laws. But what's different is let's say if you eat a candy bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a candy bar is simple sugar, right? So it has, carbohydrates have a carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and then they have a simple. It digests. It breaks down very quickly. So the bonds break easily, which sends an insulin spike way up. And that's the difference, where a complex carbohydrate that's more whole food or whole grained digests very slowly. So it's almost like energy in the system very slowly. So it burns very slowly. So the hormones do not spike. A lot of the hormone spikes, specifically insulin, will make you eat more, makes you more hungry. Mm-hmm. That's the thing too with intermittent fasting. If you go crazy and you eat all that crap, you're going to be starving. The next day, your insulin's going to be way up, and you're going to be so hungry, you're going to be nuts because you're so hungry. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm saying is you're right. The basic calorie is the basic calorie, but the way stuff goes in your system reacts different to the body, and it will burn differently, and it will affect your metabolism. So it does affect the equation in that way. Where a protein is kind of a, how do I say this? It's a, if you have a carbohydrate without anything else, insulin goes up. But guess what? If you have a carbohydrate with a protein, even with a piece of fiber with it, the insulin goes really steady. So again, food combining is very important too. So a calorie is a calorie, but it all depends on. But what our differ is, it's each. Whether it's a simple carb, complex carb, if it's a certain amount of protein, there's different whey protein, casein whey protein, soy protein. There's different fats. So each different one does change your metabolism and chemistry, and that will affect how you burn and how you process stuff.
And it's with a lot of the clients that we get in here, what we find is that you need to treat different people differently sometimes just because the way that they react to the individual. You've got calories, which are a constant, but then you've got the body, which is different, it's different from person to person.
Exactly.
And so those are that's how you help most people with your clients, and that's why you build individual plans for everybody that comes to the door.
Yeah, you've got some people that, they almost look at a carbohydrate and the weight sticks to them. You've got other people, You got other people that, believe it or not, can't eat a ketosis diet and no carbs, and they can gain muscle, and these are the genetically mesomorphs. You know what I mean? So you got and you've got some people who will still have energy after not eating any carbohydrates for a week or two. You know what I mean? Usually those people are very skinny and they can't gain weight. You know what I mean? So everyone's different, and you gotta see where that person is and where they are with their goals and what they want, and put a system that works for them. You cannot, because just like you said, everyone's different. You cannot say, here's a plan and it'll work like this for every person. That's a myth. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Dr. Greg, thanks for answering the questions
All right.
that I got from our folks online. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments below, or you can reach out to us on Facebook or on Twitter, or you can talk to us on YouTube. You can give us a call if you want to make an appointment with Dr. Greg, see what he can do for you. You can reach us at 615-302-2798. Again, this is Mason over at Spring Hill Health and Wellness, and have a good day, guys.